Martin Luther King Jr. came to Birmingham, Alabama in 1963 on a mission to a place he called the most segregated city in the United States. In the nonviolent demonstrations that followed, King and hundreds of protesters were arrested. They were pressing the city to eliminate laws that sought to keep blacks and whites separated in schools, restaurants, and many other public places. King and his followers were met with fierce resistance from the police. Public Safety Commissioner Eugene Bull Connor, backed by the majority of white residents, was determined to stop the demonstrations.
You can never whip these boys if you don't keep you and them separate. I found that out in Birmingham. You've got to keep the white and the black separate.
After 3 days of sit-ins, there are more than 300 arrests. But Bull Connor has a plan to roadblock the demonstrators.
You know, those Kennedys up there in Washington, that little old Bobby Sox and his brother, the president, they'd give anything in the world if we had some trouble here. If we don't have any trouble, we can beat them at your own game.
Without enough volunteers to continue the protests, King and other leaders enlisted hundreds of young school children to keep the marches going and fill up the jails.
The next day, the young people burst out the doors of 16th Street Baptist Church, and now Bull Connor has lost it. And he deploys the hoses and the dogs, and that is the turning point.
It's awful to see an adult hosed down or attacked by a dog or beaten with a baton. It's a completely different thing to see a 9-year-old hosed down. That is a powerful message that gets sent out to the world, and it's one, unsurprisingly, that the world reacts to in horror and shame. Those images, they are seared into the nation's brain.
The Birmingham Campaign was a climactic battle of the civil rights movement. For many, it stands as an iconic symbol of the sacrifices made by King and thousands of African Americans.